Welcome back to another episode of Dad's Gone Crypto. I'm Sean, your crypto dad, and today's topic hits close to home for many of our crypto dads. Freelance nightmares. All right, you've all been part of it somewhere in your life, and it never goes according to plan. Those moments where freelancers seem to vanish faster than your paycheck. Well, stay tuned because blockchain technology is about to rescue us from freelance nightmares, providing automated, fair dispute resolutions. Don't forget, guys, please help us grow. We're almost at that 100,000K mark, and thanks to you guys, we're almost there. But yeah, if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do so right now. Let's hold that button. All right, cool. Let's go for it. Let's set the scene. You found what seems to be the perfect freelancer for your latest crypto adventure, the one that's going to make you millions. You're envisioning success, accolades, maybe like a little plaque or a little trophy of being the most successful crypto entrepreneur of 2025 or 6. Maybe even that elusive family vacation can now be funded by your latest project. That's the dream, right? But it doesn't always go according to plan. You suddenly find that it's like reality hits hard and, deadlines seem to disappear, budgets spiral out of control, and the communication resembles trying to reason with your teenager. It just doesn't work. Frustrations mount, stress skyrockets, and what was once your crypto dream now feels like a complete nightmare. So there is good news. Blockchain can turn that nightmare back into a dream scenario. Well, let me explain. Before blockchain entered the picture, resolving freelancer disputes basically involved lengthy emails, costly lawyers, and maybe even awkward face-to-face meetings that you rather would have avoided. And I've had a few of those, and it never goes according to, in your mind, how the outcome you think it would. All right, there's always this back and forth. They believe they're doing this, you believe you're not doing this, and there's always that fight. They want more money. They feel that they've finished the project, and you've left with something that doesn't even work. It's as pleasant as stepping barefoot on Lego pieces. That's probably the nicest way to explain it, and any dad out there would fully understand how painful that is. But now blockchain dispute resolution methods are shaking things up. Blockchain essentially acts as your digital referee, stepping in immediately to ensure fair play. And at the heart of the smart contracts are actually automated digital agreements that execute conditions without human interference. They're fast, they're unbiased, and they're transparent. So how does this magic work? I say magic. Every time I think magic, I'm thinking, funny money, my dad in my head. When a dispute pops up, smart contracts automatically freeze funds, initiate dispute proceedings, and randomly select unbiased jurors from around the globe to ensure complete transparency, fairness, and honesty. No more drawn-out battles, no favoritism, just pure digital justice served quick and efficiently. I love the word quick because when you go into arbitration, it's never quick. It takes weeks, months. Ugh. All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper into who's innovating in this space. First up, we have Kleros. Think of Kleros as a blockchain version of jury duty, but without the stale coffee and endless waiting rooms. Kleros randomly selects jurors and then deliberates transparently on-chain using game theory and token incentives to encourage impartial decisions. It's already successfully resolved hundreds of disputes, demonstrating that fairness is achievable online without traditional hassles. Next, meet Samba. Not to confuse with that dance move at weddings, Samba offers secure arbitration through multi-signature wallets. This system acts like a super digital escrow account that ensures everyone meets their obligations and your funds remain safe from mismanagement. And let's not overlook Materium. They're elevating blockchain agreements to legally binding contracts using Mercadian contracts. So your crypto agreements hold solid in the legal weight. No more shaky digital handshakes. All right, let's take a look at some of these website. So this is Clearos. Let's have a look here. Okay, so risk online commerce, decentralized dispute, secure transactions, select your escrow type of payment. Okay, cool. And then these are the types of user cases: freelancing, e-commerce, OTC, NFTs, payroll. That's very interesting. Domain name transfer. All right, so now you're dealing with someone that you want to buy their name. Let's say you want to buy thebeast.com or Mr. Beast wants to buy your domain. I've got feastables.co.za in South Africa. So if he wants to buy it, Mr. Beast, I will happily sell it to you. So now, do I trust Mr. Beast? Well, I don't know. I don't know who he is. It might be a fake Mr. Beast. So just to be certain, I'd use these services and money will be transferred into an escrow account. And then I would transfer the name. So once there's proof that there's money in the account, the name gets transferred. It now belongs to Mr. Beast. And then what happens is the money is released into my account and the new ownership agreement happens. Happy days. Don't forget, Mr. Beast. I've got your .co.za South African version of Feastables ready to sell. All right, so we got an escrow. We're going to integrate it over here. And this is pretty cool. So they were the winners of the Blockchain for Social Good Prize in the European Union 2020. So they've been around for some time. Okay, industries. Let's just pop in here quickly. Let's see what's happening. All right, Web 2.0, grants, real-world assets. Think about properties and real estate and Airbnbs, social recovery protocols. Okay, that's very interesting. They do some work for you. So yeah, web social, very cool. So let's go to Materium. Just one world away for business with Materium. Innovative law tech solutions to transform world trade, instant secure digital transactions for any high valued physical asset almost anywhere in the world, legally verified identity, conditions, and ownership. All right, a revolutionary step that changes things for businesses, equivalent to Visa and UPS barcodes, so as featured on these cool places. So think about your asset. You've got some gold bars. You've got an NFT. You've got a house. Let's have a look here. You've got some vintage wine. Please send some through to the office. Let's just see what's happening here. Rolex watches. Yeah. And the nice thing about this is that when there's a transfer of ownership, there's multiple signatories that says that you are the new owner under legal protection, and they're listed in about 170 different countries. Bags are very, very important. So you can have a digital certificate saying that this is authentic based on the purchase from the original store. Now there's a reseller saying, okay, cool, here's the barcode. They can verify it with the shop owner. But at the same time, when the transfer goes through, you have a verification of that it's authentic and you actually own this new device. Think about cell phones, right? I know it's a shady business when cell phones get stolen or traded. You don't know if you're buying a blacklisted phone. So, perhaps, from the old owner to the new owner, at least you have a record of the old owner. So the new owner actually gets a legitimate reseller of a phone, or transfer of a phone, as opposed to something that's blacklisted or shady, and you're left with the problem. So at least you have some recourse there. Fractional ownership, this is pretty cool. So I'm going to go into that now. Here's some user cases, instruments, art, gold bars. There we go. Okay, cool. So think about this as an idea, right? A plot of land that's worth 2 million. Okay, so you would need one buyer to buy this, right? So I'm in South Africa, Ryan's in America, and we have a couple of other partners around the world. How do we buy this piece of land, all right? And that we all own this, right? It becomes very difficult with the legal entity. So sure, they can all give me their money and I can happily have a vacation. Or money can be transferred into this, using their product, and then ownership gets allocated. So the plot of land gets allocated to all of us, and then we have a claim to that particular land. So yes, one person might do the final transfer, but on the final docs, it's owned by, multiple people. Okay, let's just go, about us. I think it was sustainability, about us. Okay, who are we? We founded in 2017, a highly experienced digital innovator, Vinay Gupta. Materium is a cutting-edge law tech startup headquarters in London. Okay. Basically, it's easy for anyone to buy and sell high-valued assets, especially in the watch industry as well. Jurisdiction in 170 countries. This is important here. Companies to provide legal layer for their projects. So the duty to be trustworthy, basically transparent, accountable. There was something, 2007, they launched enabling owners to claim ownership. First company to implement DDRR. They made their first $100,000 sale, then $1 million sale. And then 2024 brings large-scale tokenization of gold backed by MAP's on-chain partnership with Swarm. All right, so tokenization, remember in our previous episodes, that's going to become the future of tokenizing businesses, tokenizing assets, tokenizing anything, even maybe your dog, part ownership. I don't think you can tokenize your kids yet, but yeah, maybe in the future. These are some of the founders over here and so forth. Let's go back to another real world situation. You've hired a freelancer for your next big crypto project. On milestones and the timelines via a smart contract. Everything looks peachy until the freelancer starts missing deadlines. Then what happens? Panic mode, right? Because now your vacation is prepaid for, and now you have no funds coming in because your project's not even live yet. But here comes blockchain to save the day. The smart contract immediately detects that there's a missed milestone. It freezes the contract, and no further payments will be released. Basically now what happens is both parties submit their evidence securely, basically to the blockchain, making it transparent and tamper-proof. Randomly selected jurors then are selected, courtesy of the smart contract. And then they start the review process, which is basically open and transparent. Their decision-making process is recorded, and it's basically, it can't be changed on chain. So it's visible for everybody that's involved. The smart contract then instantly implements the decision, releasing funds automatically without any arguments, or it doesn't release any more funds moving on, and it terminates the contract. So there's no back and forth. It's just basically peace of mind. So yes, it's not always let's say the employer that's hired the contract. Sometimes the employer is at fault, but you state your case, they state their case, and then they say, why was it delayed? All right. Maybe me as the contractor said, well, listen, I had a family emergency. I just needed 2 weeks. They needed a critical bit of information from me to allow the next development to happen. Therefore, the milestone was missed. So it technically wasn't the freelancer's fault. In this case, maybe it was my fault. This is just a hypothetical, just giving you an example. So they'll read this and they'll say, well, it was due to unforeseen circumstances. The contractor was at fault. The freelancer gets his money and it gets released. Now we have a decision to make. Are we going to continue with this freelancer? Has the relationship broken down? Do I take it on the chin, or do I give him the royal boot? All right. Generally, we'll hopefully resolve the issue and make sure he doesn't miss any future milestones per se, or maybe add a little bit more funding to speed up the next phase of the development. There's various options that can happen. Now I want to discuss, there's a few steps. There's basically steps on how to engage with the freelancer that'll help prevent fewer disputes. And these are tried and tested, dad-approved tips for engaging with freelancers. All right, so number one, explicit expectations. Clearly outline all the project details and milestones within your smart contract. Leave no room for misunderstanding. So often you got this great idea, you got the vague picture of what you want. I want to create an Amazon. And then everybody on Freelancer licks their lips because they can see money, money, money. And we've we haven't clearly defined the roles of what exactly we want, all right? To create something like an Amazon is just nearly impossible, right? And there's other tools and other companies like Shopify that can really simplify your life. But, you know, that's obviously a very big project, but I haven't got into the particular detail stating this is exactly what I want. And therefore, there's going to be confusions because what they interpret a vague idea is, and what you interpret that idea is, two different worlds. So make sure you're very clear on what you want. Number two, blockchain escrow. So secure your payments through blockchain escrow services. Think of it as locking away your valuables safely from temptation. You know, when you're ready and you got the funds, you lock your funds up in an escrow and you say, all right, this is what I want. You break down the terms in the agreement and you split up those funds accordingly and evenly, so that even in the event that he's made 50% gains and the rest is kind of fell apart, at least you still got 50% of the code that'll allow you for someone else to step in and assist. Number three, immutable documentation. This is an important one. So keep a detailed record of all communications. Try and keep it in one format. So if you're using WhatsApp, all right, make sure you're copying and pasting the transcripts into the main folder and putting it on chain, which then people can't alter. There's no hearsay. If you're going back and forth, and generally the beginning of a project is always the how can I say, the wedding. Everything's rosy and beautiful when you just got married. Nothing's a problem, right? Until the day after, and then the cracks start to show. So it's ideal that the communication is that if you've kind of changed the scope a little bit and they've agreed to it, make sure you have documentation, because otherwise it's a hearsay. And when they look at the main contract outline and it's not in there, you're at fault. All right. So keep communications clear and precise. Number four, automated dispute clauses. Include clauses in your smart contracts that automatically activate arbitration processes, saving you headaches down the road. And number five, trustworthy platforms. Stick to reputable blockchain arbitration services. So just remember, guys, these companies, Clara, Samba, and Ethereum, we've kind of done a bit of research on them. We like them, and then we've kind of showcased them on our podcast. They're not sponsoring the channel in any way. So make sure you do your homework. Make sure you find out, Google them, phone the company, get reviews to see, if this is the right company for you. So always remember, do your own research and make sure you do your homework. Let's address the challenges and the future outlook. While blockchain dispute resolution offers impressive benefits, it's not without its challenges. Regulatory clarity is still catching up, and the fairness of automated decisions in complex cases sometimes raises eyebrows. But as these platforms mature and the adoption grows, expect clearer guidelines and improved integrations with traditional legal frameworks. The future does look bright. Blockchain arbitration is expanding rapidly, and more people are adopting the crypto-based solutions. This approach to resolving disputes will likely become the new standard. All right, crypto dads, this is your chance to share your story. Have you faced a freelance nightmare? If you're a creator in the space, I can guarantee you, okay, just one story, that would be great. Not your whole life story. That's for another day over a few beers. All right, how did you handle it? Which blockchain company did you use? Drop your experiences and questions in the comments below. Let's build our crypto dad community together and learn from each other, and the wins and the losses. Thanks for sticking around, guys, for today's deep dive on blockchain-based dispute resolution. If this episode saved your sanity or at least made you smile, please hit the subscribe and ring that bell notification. Stay tuned for more dad-friendly crypto advice and plenty of dad jokes. Until next time, keep your crypto safe and your dad jokes ready. This is Sean from DadsGoneCrypto, signing off. Ciao.
The material and information presented in this recording are for entertainment purposes only. Do not misconstrue what you hear as investment or trading advice. Always do your own research. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the guests on this recording are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of DadsGoneCrypto or its hosts.